Malibu hybrid. So this is the electric and gas Malibu. Once again, it's provided to us by Mark WAHLBERG Chevrolet. Big thanks and shout out to them. I'll leave a link in the description for their website, so go check them out and all of their awesome inventory. But in this video, we're just going to take you guys around, show you the differences between this and the other Malibu that we just had, and also talk a little bit about the hybrid system and how that works, and just kind of talk to you a little bit about the car. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So again, like I said, this is the hybrid edition. So it's part electric, part gas. It's finished in a white color, and this particular one rides on the P225 5517s. So it's got 17-inch wheels. Very nice. Still have the same chrome accenting around the door frames there. Same thing up top with the LED light bar for the high-mounted third brake light. And then coming down to the rear, you have all LED tail lights, turn signals, and all that. You still have halogen reverse lights, parking sensors in the rear that go along with your backup camera right up there. Sorry for any wind noise, it is very, very cold this morning. Capless fuel door. And then on the driver and passenger side, you do have your smart key access system. You've also got your body colored mirrors. And then coming around to the front, you do have your projector headlamps with your halogen high beams. Down below, your halogen turn signals, as well as your LED running light right there. Again, with the same aggressively styled front end with the big grille, with a nice chrome work. Alright, let's go ahead and hop inside, but first, this vehicle does come equipped with a remote start, so I'll go ahead and show you that. So here's the key. All you have to do is lock it, and then hold down that start button. And as you can see, upon starting the vehicle, the front LED running lights come on. As well as the rear LED tail lights, which have a nice design to them. Same with the other one that we had. Now, another thing to note, that sometimes when you start the vehicle, the engine will run for a little while, and then it'll turn off and just run off of battery power. And then it'll go back and full as needed to keep the battery charged. If you want to go ahead and turn the vehicle off, all you have to do is just hold down that start button again. So let's go ahead and hop on inside. Alright, so coming over to the door handle, you have two options to get in. You can either use the remote, or you can just leave it in your pocket. Tap this button once, and open up the door. Now you're greeted with a brown and white leather interior. Starting on the door panel, you have that nice white accenting right here. That will get dirty very easy, but as long as you keep it clean, definitely not that big of a deal. Hard touch plastics up top here. You know, I think I would rather see some more soft touch. This is soft touch, but to see soft touch materials here, that would be nice, especially for a higher end hybrid model. Grab handle here, chrome door handle. You got power locks, your power mirrors, child lockout. Your automatic windows are automatic in the front, and then you have this nice wood accenting there as well with the chrome. Storage pockets down below with a water bottle pocket. And again with the white leather seats. Driver's side is full power. All right, so once you're in the vehicle, all you have to do is go ahead and put your foot on the brake, tap the dash manual button to go. And this is the 1.8 liter Ecotec 4-cylinder. And you can see the hybrid system down there as well. I'll leave all the information on this engine in the description below as far as fuel economy and all that good stuff for you. And as you can see, the center speedometer is digital. And then you also have your normal analog gauges off to the sides of it there. As you can see, there's really not much revving to it just because it is a hybrid. Now, of course, when it is in the hybrid mode, in the electric mode, there is no revving at all. Coming over to the left of the steering wheel, you have your headlamp controls as well as your interior illumination controls. Again, with the nice brown and white accenting soft touch materials. This is all hard, but the nice chrome accenting around the AC vents as well as the gauge cluster here. Very nice flowing design. All right, so starting with the instrument panel here. So as you can see, you have your normal gauges over here. So this is kind of like your RPM gauge, but it functions a little bit differently. So it's sitting at 0 right now. It's based on how much power you're using. And then when you hit the brakes or decelerate, it kind of goes down in there into the green, and that's what helps recharge the battery for you. Next to that, you have your voltage meter, which will show you some cool features with that. Obviously, your speedometer in the center, your economy gauge right here to the right, and then your fuel and engine temperature gauge as well. And then coming to the steering wheel, nice soft touch controls like all Chevys have now in their newer vehicles. This particular one is equipped with a steering wheel heater. You also have your collision alert setting button here for how far, your cruise control, your lane departure warning assist, so that way if you're drifting out of your lane, it'll kind of steer you back, and if you don't have a hold of the wheel, it'll beep at you to let you know, hey, grab the wheel. If you don't, it will obviously disengage. But yeah, nice little feature there. And then coming over to the other side, you have your Bluetooth, your phone, and then your controls to cycle through the center gauges. So we'll go ahead and show you that. So there's your fuel range and instant fuel economy, remaining oil life, your tire pressure, air filter life, which is kind of cool, so that way you can kind of keep track of when you need to replace your air filter, because I think a lot of people forget about that. Your fuel economy for your best, your average, the last 50 miles, all that good stuff there. Timer, here's your driver assist for your lane keep assist, your following distance, electric vehicle operation there. And by the way, I can already tell I just turned that on and this steering wheel is already getting warm. Your driving efficiency, which is kind of the same thing as this gauge over here. Distance traveled, and on that trip you can have your what your fuel economy was for that trip. Total power, a digital readout of your speed, trip A, trip B, and then back to your full range. Now to show you kind of a little bit about these other gauges, because as you can see, the screen kind of comes down. So what you can actually do is go on over, scroll down to options, and you can change your display theme for one. So we can have it in sport or touring, which touring just kind of changes the layout a little bit. I particularly like the sport. Your info pages and all that good stuff, your speed warning, and your pocket gauges. So here you can actually adjust what your little side pocket gauges are. So on the left we have battery voltage meter, On the right, we actually have, you can have it blank. You can change it to your fuel range, your driving efficiency, back to your voltmeter. So there's not really a lot of options, but you can kind of play with it if you want. This is kind of where I've left it. Now, just a side note, if you just noticed, the engine did cut off. Now we're currently just running on battery power as we sit here. And then we'll just come back out. And there we go. Now we're back to the main screen. So a little bit of options in there, not as much as I'd like to see, but definitely interesting and cool to have that, just kind of play with. But I definitely like that layout of the speedometer there in the center. Now coming over to the left side of the steering wheel, you've got your turn signals and your head, bright light controls. Now this vehicle is equipped with automatic high beams. So what that does for you is you just click that button, and it's not going to pop up right now, but you click that button, and what it does, it'll automatically turn on the high beams for you. And when there's a car coming, or when you're coming into an area where you wouldn't need them, it automatically turns it off for you. So it's kind of neat to have. That way you don't forget and blind people, and then somebody else is honking at you and flashing because you left your brights on. The car will just automatically turn them off for you. So that's kind of cool to have. And then off to the right, you have your windshield wiper controls there as well. And then coming over to the center part of the car, you have your infotainment system. Cool thing about this, you've got your audio phone, you've got also a Wi-Fi hotspot. When you're subscribed to that, you can also have Wi-Fi in vehicle. Your settings, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all that good stuff. And then when you swipe over, you have your OnStar, your climate. So you can actually turn your climate on from the screen right here, and you can actually control it right here from the screen versus using the physical buttons down here. But for those of you who still like the physical buttons, you can use them down here as well. But you can use this to adjust your temperature, your fan speed, and all of your other options there. And you can turn it back off, hit the home button, boom, you're back home. Now this energy button, that's kind of a cool little button there. So what that does is that shows you what's going on in the vehicle at the moment. So are you using your engine power, your electric power, all that good stuff, and it kind of gives you a whole diagram of that when you're driving, and I'll kind of show you that later on in the video. But definitely a cool feature to have, and there's a quick button down here at the bottom that you can use to get to that instead of having to swipe over. But coming over, you got all your settings here. It's typical, same thing that was in the other Malibu. Not really much difference. Vehicle software updates, preferences, all that good stuff. Your apps. Oops, we can turn those on and off. Same thing, the rear seat reminder, lighting, comfort, convenience, all that good stuff. Same thing here. You still have a team driver mode, which is cool. And like I said, your Wi-Fi hotspot, all you have to do is connect to it. There's the password. You can share the hotspot data, all that good stuff. And it tells you how many devices are connected to it at this time. And going back, then you have your audio here. And like I said, same exact setup as the other Malibu. This is just the hybrid. And real quick, just another way you can know that you are in hybrid mode is right there where it says EV, electric vehicle. Right now it's not going to show you your instant fuel economy because you're not using any fuel. You're in electric mode. But yeah, same thing as the other Malibu we had and most newer Chevys. This one does not have the navigation. You can obviously do the turn-by-turn navigation with OnStar, but it doesn't have a physical navigation system in that system. And then coming down, you have your physical buttons for your climate control. You turn your power on, fan speed here with a little light that'll indicate how fast the fan speed is. Your different zones, front defrost, AC. You can actually sync both of these together. So you hit that sync button, and then both of those together are going to be the same temperature when you adjust the driver's side. And then you also have heated driver and passenger front seats. Very nice. Again, with that white accenting coming down. And then down below everything here, you have your USB auxiliary inputs, and your 12-volt power outlet. Nice little storage here. One thing this vehicle does not have is a wireless charging pad. It's definitely something nice that I would like to see in something like this, being a hybrid, but unfortunately this one does not have it. And then coming up here, you have your traction control off, as well as your parking sensors button there. And then coming over, you have your nicely accented gear shift, nice leather stitched, plus and minus on the top for manual shifting. And then also when you put the vehicle in reverse, you get a backup camera that comes up with guidance lines that actually turn as you turn the steering wheel. So that's definitely neat to have. And then the parking sensors will pop up in the center of the gauge cluster to let you know how close you are to something. Also, you have an electronic parking brake. So all you have to do is just, let me turn that off so maybe you can hear it. So all you have to do is just pull up on it, and it'll tell you parking brake set. And then to release the parking brake, all you have to do is put your foot on the brake and push the button down, and it'll tell you parking brake released. Once again, with that nice wood accenting here, 2 cup holders, a little bit of storage right here, maybe for coins. Lifting up the center console, nothing exciting in there. There's no connection ports or anything like that, but it is a decent size center console. So, and then coming up top here, you've got your interior illumination, which the front is LED, and you'll see why I just said front illumination is LED here in just a minute. Your OnStar controls here, passenger airbag, dome light controls. You can turn that all on or off at the same time. This vehicle is equipped with a panoramic sunroof as well. So you have your power sunshade there. That is fully automatic. And we'll go ahead and open up the sunroof. Sunroof is fully automatic as well. It goes all the way back. And then all you have to do is just tap this button once. And then same thing with the sunshade. Very nice. You do have your auto dimming rearview mirror, all that good stuff there as well. And then over here you have your Bluetooth speaker, vanity mirror with the illumination for both the driver and passenger there. So, all right, let's go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle. Go ahead and shut her down. And it'll actually tell you what your distance traveled was during that drive cycle and all that good stuff. What your fuel economy was for that trip when you shut the vehicle off, which is kind of neat. All right, so coming around back, nothing exciting really back here. Same with the white soft touch materials as well as the hard plastics with the wood grain finish there. Nice comfortable rear seats. You have a decent amount of room, nothing crazy. The front driver's seat is actually where I would sit, and I'm about 6 feet tall, and I still have quite a bit of leg room. I wish I had more room for my feet, but unfortunately, you know, it's still a 4-door car. Storage pockets in the back of the seats, both the driver and passenger seat. Nice thing to have is rear air vents. This always makes it nice instead of having to rely on all the front air vents to come back and either warm up the back seat or cool it down. You have your rear air vents there, as well as down below you have your 12-volt power outlet down there. Nice rubber floor mats that go across the entire floor. And then this is what I meant by the front has LED. Unfortunately, Chevy cheaped out and went with halogen back here. Honestly, that truly shows where they were cutting corners. That to me just does not look good when you have LED up front and halogen in the back. But again, that's where Chevy unfortunately decided to cut corners and really, you know, just didn't do a good job. Another neat feature back here though, you do have another Bluetooth speaker, so when somebody's talking on the phone, if you're in the back seat, you could actually talk to whoever's on the phone as well, if you're talking to a family member or something like that. Nothing exciting back there. Child seat anchors, all that good stuff there. Nice comfortable headrests, good amount of support. And then also here in the center you have a armrest that folds down with 2 cup holders, or you can have it up and have a third person sit here. right, then come back around back. As long as you have the keys on you, there's actually a little button right underneath the Chevy emblem here that you push, and the trunk will open up. Good amount of trunk space. It's actually a little bit smaller than what I thought. And being a hybrid, you also have the hybrid battery pack right here, so it kind of robs some space from you, unfortunately. All right, and then coming around to the passenger side. Same thing once again, you've got your side pockets down there below with your bottle holder. Same soft touch materials, wood grain finish, your power window controls. The passenger seat unfortunately is manual. I wish, you know, I would have liked to see a power passenger seat, but unfortunately that's just not an option. But go ahead and stepping in. Again, good amount of room up front to adjust the seat. There's your lever there. Sorry for the sun glare, but again, kind of the same thing from the passenger seat. I just always like to give everybody a different view of what it would be like in each seat of the vehicle. Decent sized glove compartment. All right, here's what I was talking about with the meter here. So this kind of shows you just battery power. There it goes, shows the engine kicking in. And then when you hit the brakes, it's regenerating the power recovery. So a neat little gauge there. It'll kind of tell you what the vehicle's doing. Alrighty guys, I think that's going to do us for this one. I hope you enjoyed this review of the 2019 Chevrolet Malibu Hybrid. Like I said, I'll leave a link in the description for Mark Wahlberg Chevrolet, so you can go check out this vehicle and the rest of their inventory and all that good stuff. I will leave in the description below the MSRP, the fuel economy, all that good stuff. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Plenty more content coming up, so stay tuned. And until the next one, take care.
But I wasn't